students, good evening to everyone. This is Bujji Babu, working as a chemistry lecturer in Vignan Cooperative Junior College, Vatlamudi. In the previous video, we discussed about the preparation methods of colloids and purification methods of colloids. So in this video, I am going to explain about some important properties of the colloidal solutions. So once we look at what are the contents present in this video are, first one, properties of colloidal solutions. So generally, after knowing the preparation methods and purification methods of the colloidal solution, it is very essential to know the main important properties of the colloidal solutions. In that part 1, colligative properties of the colloidal solutions. You already know that very well from the chapter of solution. You know very well about colligative properties. What are colligative properties? Elevation of boiling point, depression of freezing point, osmotic pressure, and RLBP. All these four are called as colligative properties. Now we are going to explain about how the colligative properties are influenced by both true solution and colloidal solution. And another important thing is Tyndall effect. So Tyndall effect is an optical property of colloidal solution. So exhibited by the colloidal solutions, it is known as the optical property of colloidal solution. So next property, colored property. Generally, some colloidal solutions exhibit color. How the colloidal solutions exhibit and what is the phenomenon including to the exhibition or evolution of the color of the given colloidal solution. And next important property is Brownian movement. So Brownian movement is a kinetic property of colloidal solution. It tells about the movement of the particles which are presenting in the given colloidal solution. And finally, charge on colloidal particles. Generally, the particles which are present in the colloidal particles are having either positively charged particles or negatively charged particles. So these are all the main contents which are presenting in this video. First one, colligative properties. So what are the colligative properties in case of colloidal solutions? So generally, the colloidal particles consisting of a large molecule, we know that very well, the size of the true solution particles and the size of the colloidal solution particles. If the particle is said to be colloidal particle, its diameter is compulsorily greater than 1 nanometer. In case of colloidal solution, all particles are aggregated and able to form a large type of molecules. At least they contain the diameter greater than 1 nanometer. Greater than 1 nanometer. In case of true solution, the particle sizes are very less compared with the colloidal solution. That means the particle size of the colloidal solutions are bigger than the particle size of the true solutions. So therefore, the colligative properties like RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure, and elevation of boiling point delta TB, and depression of freezing point delta TF, and osmotic pressure pi. These four are known as colligative properties. All the four colligative properties: elevation of boiling point RLVP, depression of freezing point delta TF, RLVP, elevation of boiling point delta TB, depression of freezing point delta TF, and osmotic pressure pi. Therefore, the colloidal particles are bigger size than the particles of the true solution. Therefore, the colligative properties are very less in colloidal solution, very less in colloidal solution compare with the true solution. Compare with the true solution. So this is the information about the colligative properties. So the colligative properties of the colloidal solutions are very small as compared to the colligative properties of true solution. The main reason is like this, based on the particle size. In case of colloidal solution, the particles are large sized particles. In case of true solution, the true solution particles are very less particles. That's why the number of molecules or number of particles present in the colloidal solutions are very less compared with the number of particles present in the true solution. That means depending upon the size of the particle, due to the bigger size of the colloidal particle, the colloidal solution is having less number of particles. Due to the small size of the particle size, true solutions are containing more number of particles. Therefore, due to the presence of less number of colloidal particles, the colligative properties are very less in case of colloidal solution compared with the true solution. This is the first property of the colloidal solutions, that is colligative properties. Important property of colloidal solution is Tyndall effect. So what is meant by Tyndall effect? First of all, Tyndall effect is an optical property of colloidal solution. Optical property. Tyndall effect is an optical property of colloidal solution. So once you look at the image, in that image, the image explains about the phenomenon of Tyndall effect. So the definition of the Tyndall effect like this: when the beam of light is passing through the colloidal solution as shown in the image, you have to clearly identify the concept of the Tyndall effect. You must see about the image. Okay, in a beaker or vessel, we took a colloidal solution. On the surface of the colloidal solution, an ultra microscope is placed. When we are passing a beam of light passing through the colloidal solution, the colloidal particles absorb the light and the particles will be scattered. So this type of process is known as the Tyndall effect. Simply we concluded the Tyndall effect can be defined as a beam of light passing through the colloidal solution. The light is absorbed by the colloidal particles and they will be scattered. This is known as the Tyndall effect. This phenomenon is first of all proposed by the scientist Tyndall. The scientist name is Tyndall. Here another important thing is, when the light passing through the colloidal solution, the light absorbed by the colloidal particles and the particles will be scattered. So there is an important thing behind in the Tyndall effect is the scattering of the light. The scattering of the light. So what are the main requirements? We have to see the phenomenon of Tyndall effect means, the first important thing is the diameter of the dispersed phase particle in a colloidal solution is not less than the wavelength of the light. Wavelength of the beam of the light. This is the first condition. The particles which are presenting in dispersion medium, their diameter is not much less than the wavelength of the light which is passing through that colloidal solution. Another important thing is the refractive indices of dispersive phase and dispersion medium are far away with each other. That means both dispersive phase and dispersion medium have a large difference in their refractive indices values. When basing on these principles, the Tyndall effect is observed. Another important thing is this total Tyndall effect is we can see in the dark room only. These two conditions, the Tyndall effect is affected. Condition number 1, the size of the particles which are presenting in dispersion medium are not less than the wavelength of the light which is passed through the colloidal solution. And second important thing is the refractive indices values of dispersive phase and dispersion medium are large difference. Basing on these principles, the Tyndall effect is affected. There are so many live examples we can see about Tyndall effect in the cinema halls, and some sun rays are passing through the slit into a room. So this first information given by the scientist Tyndall, we have to clearly identify this instrumentalization of Tyndall effect. So as shown in the image, an ultra microscope which is placed on the surface of the solution by right angle. The ultra microscope which is placed by right angle, that means 90 degrees, which place on the surface of the colloidal solution. The ultra microscope, this is designed by the scientist Zsigmondy. The scientist name Zsigmondy. Zsigmondy proposed the instrument of ultra microscope. With the help of the ultra microscope, we clearly see the phenomenon of Tyndall effect. This ultra microscope only helps to decide the nature of the colloidal solution, but it cannot give the information about the size and shape of the colloidal particles. That is a very important thing regarding about the ultra microscope which is used in the Tyndall effect process. With the help of the ultra microscope, we have to clearly see the phenomenon of Tyndall effect, but this ultra microscope provides only the information of the nature of the given colloidal solution, but it does not give the information about the what are the sizes of the colloidal particles and what are the shapes of the colloidal particles which are presenting in the given colloidal solution. This is the information about the Tyndall effect. When the beam of the light passing through the colloidal solution, the light absorbed by the colloidal particles and they will be scattered, then the path of the light appear as a luminous beam. Then the path of the light appear as a luminous beam. This is known as Tyndall cone. So this is known as the Tyndall cone. These are the main important points regarding to about the Tyndall effect. So what is Tyndall effect? Tyndall effect is first of all an optical property proposed by the scientist Tyndall. The requirements for the Tyndall effect is the dispersed phase particle size is not less than the wavelength of the light, and second one is refractive indices of dispersed phase and dispersion medium are large difference, and all these phenomena we have to see by the help of the ultra microscope proposed by the scientist Zsigmondy. When the light passing through the colloidal solution, the light absorbed by the colloidal particles and the path of the light appear as a luminous beam. That path of the light appear as a luminous beam is called as Tyndall cone. Another important thing is the ultra microscope gives the information about the nature of the colloidal solution, but it does not give the information about the what are the size and shape of the colloidal particles. The two live examples of about the Tyndall effect. So look at the both images. In image 1, a beam of light passing through the windows into a dark room. So this is a live example of the Tyndall effect. That means when light passing through the dark room, the light is scattered by the dust particles which are presenting in that room. In image 1, some light particles are beam of light passing through the window of the room, and the light is scattered by the dust particles which are presenting in that room. By dust particles which are present in that room. Another live example is projection of film in theater. So the projection of the film in theater, it is also a live example of the Tyndall effect. The projection or a scattering of the light due to the presence of dust particles and smoke particles. Due to the presence of dust particles and smoke particles, which are present in the atmosphere of the theater. So these are all two live examples about the Tyndall effect. First one is light rays passing through the window into a dark room. They will be scattered by the dust particles which are presenting in that room. And second one is the projection of the light or scattering of the light in a cinema theater also due to the presence of some smoke particles and dust particles which are presenting in that theater. These two are live examples of the Tyndall effect. Another live example I mentioned here, why the sky appears in blue color. Generally, we have to be seen sky, it always appear in blue color. But there is a not true color for the sky. Generally, it appears only for the scattering of the light. The scattering of the light due to the dust particles which are presenting in the air, when we visible to the our eye towards the sky, then sky appears to the blue color. That means the light is scattered by the blue colored particles. That means the dust particles which are presenting in the air. Therefore, the sky seems to be as a blue color, but it's not a original color of the blue. No one can paint the sky as a blue. So it is a another application of the Tyndall effect. These are live examples for the about Tyndall effect. And another important property of colloidal solution, color. Generally, colloidal solution exhibits some color. The color of the colloidal solution mainly depending upon the wavelength of the light. The wavelength of the light the color of the given colloidal solution depending upon the first wavelength of the light and is also depending upon the size and shape of the colloidal particles. Size and shape of colloidal particles. Size and shape of colloidal particles. So these are all the two factors which are why the given colloidal solution having some color. The color of the given colloidal solution mainly depending upon 2 points. First point is wavelength of the light and second one is size and shape of the colloidal particles. Generally, large wavelength light scattered by small particles as vice versa small wavelength light scattered by large sized particles. Take a look into this point. The larger wavelength light is scattered by the small size particles and a small wavelength light is scattered by the large sized particles. Another important thing is we have to see the color of the given colloidal solution. The color of the given colloidal solution is the light of the transmitted is viewed is different from the light of the reflected viewed. Transmitted color of the transmitted view and reflected view. Therefore, the color of the given colloidal solution, it seems to be one color of the transmitted view and another color of the reflected view. For example, the mixture of milk and water. The mixture of milk and water appear as blue color due to transmitted light view and appear as red color due to reflected light view. This is a best example for the color of the given colloidal solution. The mixture of the milk plus water appear as blue color due to transmitted light view. This mixture also appear as a red color due to the reflected light view. Another best example is the color of the gold solution. The fine color of the gold solution is clearly seen to be in red color. After increasing the size of the colloidal particle, the color changes to blue, green, and finally golden color. Here another important thing is the color of the colloidal solution will also depending upon the size of the colloidal particle. If the size of the colloidal particle increases, automatically the color of the colloidal solution also increasing. So this is about the color of the colloidal solution. Though first of all the color of the colloidal solution will be depending upon the wavelength of the light which is passing through the colloidal solution. And next one, depending upon the size and shape of the colloidal particles. Another important thing is large wavelength light is scattered by small particles. Small wavelength light is scattered by large size particles. The color of the colloidal solution appear different in the view of transmitted light view and reflected light view. For example, milk and water and gold solution. So this is about the information about the color which is expected by the given colloidal solution. Another important property of colloidal solution is Brownian movement. So what is meant by Brownian movement? So first of all, Brownian movement is a kinetic property of colloidal solution. Kinetic property of colloidal solution. So once you look at the image, in that image many of the molecules of colloidal particles, their motion is in zigzag motion. That means there is no particular order. The movement of the colloidal particles in a zigzag motion, simply it is known as a Brownian movement. The movement of colloidal particles, like zigzag motion. Zigzag motion means there is no particular route way, there is no particular order. The molecules are simply move from one place to another place in different discontinuous ways. That is known as zigzag motion. This is known as the Brownian movement. The movement of the colloidal particles, their movement in the zigzag motion is known as the Brownian movement. So what are the factors affecting due to the Brownian movement? It means due to the unequal bombardment of colloidal particles. Unequal bombardment or collision. For example, this is one colloidal particle, this is another colloidal particle. In that molecule there is a unequal bombardment or collision takes place, that it causes to the Brownian movement. Due to the unequal bombardment of colloidal particles, it leads to the Brownian movement as shown in the figure. How the molecules are moving like a zigzag motion? It is because of the unequal bombardments takes place between the molecules which are presenting in the given colloidal solution. It is a kinetic property of colloidal solution. And another important thing is this Brownian movement, it is independent of nature of the colloidal solution. Independent of nature of colloidal solution. Independent of nature of colloidal solution. And it is also depending upon the size of the colloidal particle and the viscosity of the colloidal solution. It is depending upon the size of colloidal particle and viscosity of solution. And viscosity of sols means colloidal solution. So this Brownian movement mainly depending upon the size of the colloidal particle and viscosity of the given colloidal solution. And finally concluded that one word, that is the molecule with lesser particle size, like a small particle size, either small particle size and low viscosity of solution, then the Brownian movement is very fast. This is the main important thing. The Brownian movement did not depending upon the nature of the colloidal solution, but it will be depending upon the nature of the size of the colloidal particle and viscosity of the colloidal solution. This is about the Brownian movement. So this Brownian movement proposed by the scientist Robert Brown. The scientist name Robert Brown. So Brownian movement is a kinetic property of colloidal solution. So the definition like this: movement of colloidal particles likely zigzag motion due to the unequal bombardment of collisions takes place between the colloidal particles. The Brownian movement independent of the nature of the colloidal solution, but it depending upon the size of the particle and viscosity of the solution. The particles with a small size and viscosity of the solution is less, therefore the Brownian movement takes place very fast. Charge on colloidal particles. Generally, the particles present in the given colloidal solution having either positive charge or negative charge. The particles which are presenting in the given colloidal solution, they have either positive charge or negative charge. So here, how the charge is attributed to the particle which is presenting in the given colloidal solution. Generally, the colloidal solution consisting of particles, some positively charged particles and some negatively charged particles. That means definitely the particle which is presenting in the colloidal solution having either positive charge or negative charge. But how the charge is attributed to the colloidal particle which is presenting in the given colloidal solution. Okay, this is by two ways. The first one is by capturing electron. The colloidal particles gain the charge from air and dispersion of some metals. They capture some charge from that air and dispersion of metals. And another important thing is they absorb some ions from other solutions. So basing on the second point, colloidal particles gain either positive charge or negative charge, that is colloidal particles absorb ions from the other solutions. This phenomenon we have to clearly seen by the familiar example like silver nitrate react with the potassium iodide. Here potassium iodide taken in excess. Here silver iodide get precipitated. And this solution of silver iodide get consisting of more I minus ions. It is a negatively charged colloidal solution. Why the solution of silver iodide having positive charged colloidal particles? It means silver nitrate with addition of excess of potassium iodide. Therefore, in excess, when we take the excess of potassium iodide, the excess of I minus ions presenting in that solution, therefore, the colloidal particles which are present in that silver iodide solution is having negative charge. In another way, silver nitrate react with the potassium iodide. Here we take silver nitrate as excess. Here also silver iodide get precipitated. Here the aqueous solution of silver iodide having positively charged particle nature. Why? Because here potassium iodide added to the silver nitrate. Here we took silver nitrate in excess, that means more number of plus ions including in that colloidal solution. Therefore, aqueous solution of silver iodide contain positively charged colloidal particles. So, basing on this principle, adsorption of ions from solutions, either positive ions or negative ions, definitely colloidal solutions having positively charged particles or negatively charged particles. Those, this is about the how the charge presenting on the given colloidal solutions. Okay, students, once we recall what we learned in this session, first of all, some properties of the colloidal solution we are discussed still now. First one is colligative properties. The colligative properties of colloidal solutions are very less compared with the true solution because of small size, small number of ions, small number of molecules present in the colloidal solution. And come to the second one, Tyndall effect. It is an optical property of colloidal solution. When the light passing through the colloidal solution, the light absorbed by the colloidal particles and scattered. The path of the light appear as a luminous beam, that is known as a Tyndall cone. So this is about Tyndall effect. This total instrumentalization we have to clearly seen with the help of ultra microscope, which is designed by the scientist Zsigmondy. It gives the information about the nature of the solution, not size and shape of the molecules which are presenting in the colloidal solution. Come to the next one, color. The color of the colloidal solution depending upon the wavelength of the light passes through the colloidal solution and size and shape of the colloidal particles. And finally, Brownian movement, it is a kinetic property of colloidal solution. The zigzag motion of colloidal particles, the motion of the colloidal particles in zigzag motion, it is known as Brownian movement. And next one, charge present on colloidal particles by two ways. First one, by capturing electron from air and dispersed metals. And second one, adsorbed ions from solutions. When one solution is added to the another one is taken as the fixed, another one taken as the excess. The excess of ions are added to that solution. Therefore, either it contains positively charged particles or negatively charged particles. Finally, the given colloidal solution containing positively charged particles or negatively charged particles. So these are our main important properties of the colloidal solutions. Okay, thank you very much.